Here we are on the internet. Yes. Where there's people who will agree with you and there's people who won't. And there's also people who are willing to learn. I just wanted to come on and say that if someone is coming on and instilling fear into you, they say that they claim to be knowing, and they claim to get messages from angels, or they claim to know everything, okay? And the number one rule is do not listen to anyone who claims that they know everything, okay? Because that person who knows everything is still learning, okay? And this goes for people who watch people and, they're trying to help themselves and they've been following this person. This person's been saying, dropping some gems and building you up. And then out of nowhere, this person, you see them live and they're talking about things that you shouldn't do. Okay, they're instilling fear into you. Ha baba. I'm just talking about people who come on and instill fear into you by just the things that they're saying. They're telling you to not do this and not do that, and thinking that it's protecting you when really it's honestly damaging to tell someone how to live their life. Okay, and this fear correlates to real people in your life who just want to instill fear, okay? Now, in my life, I have this quote unquote deadline from my father where I have done so much work. I have studied for a month straight, passed an exam that I never thought I would be able to do it. I didn't have belief in myself that I was smart enough due to past trauma and, not feeling like I was ever good enough because I never made it to other people's standards. And so now, after all these accomplishments I have made, there's still this deadline lingering over me. So it's like I have a month to start my job and to get caught up on bills and to move into a new place all in a month. It's very overwhelming, and I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm not sure I want to live up to others' expectations. I don't. I don't want to. And I'm not going to let this fear bother me. I'm not going to let it get to me because I know that I always got me and I know that I always make it. So I'm not going to let this fear that somebody else thinks they have their claws on me. I'm going to take their claws out, and if I have to fight back, I have to fight back. That's what's going to happen. And my thing is that when you're talking to a monster, the monster doesn't talk back. The monster blows fire in your face. Can you block weird people? I don't do weird. I don't do people telling me what to do. We're on here telling people, okay, anyway. So if people think that courage comes from outside of them, that's insane. So what I'm saying is that I will fight back We delete people that talk about Jesus because we're not talking about religion. Religion is what they used to control people. And they're still trying, in some way, they're still trying to, whatever the government is doing now is all a push for fear. It's all fear. Okay? And so my point was, what do we do with fear? We fight back. Yeah, I've been deleting them. um, we fight back. We know when to fight back. And there's nothing wrong with excerpts from the Bible. There's nothing wrong with believing in Jesus. It is it is a part of us, some of us at least. And it's something that you don't push onto other people. Finding your spiritualness is something that is unique to you. And so however you find that is going to look different for everybody because everybody's different. And if we try to deny the difference, if we try to deny our differences, we're denying ourselves. So if you're wanting people to conform, to believe what you believe, why do you want someone to be like you? Are you afraid of the things that you are not? Yes, it does make us feel small when we see something outside of ourselves that we have not yet accepted in ourselves. It'll make you feel upset. It'll make you feel angry. The past couple of days I have been going through shadows and things where I was very angry at a lot of random things I was seeing on the internet just because I was denying it within myself. 5-5, that's change. Now, a lot of people don't believe in like numbers and numbers speaking to you, but really everything is speaking to us. So when you tell someone to follow only one path, that is conformity. And if you know what conformity looks like, it looks like something that was always been there. Let's say the Gulf of Mexico, something that's always been there, and they change it because they are scared. How do you change the name of an ocean? I will never conform, and I will always stand up, and you will hear me on my podcast when I'm finally out of a place that tries to hold me back constantly. You will see me grow and flourish in a new place. People who stand up for themselves are Jesus themselves, okay? When you fight against what is wrong, when you make your own path, that is you being Jesus. When people don't like what you're doing, how do you think Jesus felt when they pinned him up on the cross for them not believing in his own spiritualness? They didn't believe in him. And it comes to a very humble place when you can love others for exactly who they are. It comes from a very humble place. It comes from loving yourself. If you love yourself 100%, only then you can love others 100%. But yeah, I really came on here because that fear thing was getting to me about, he really be trying to really close my throat when he says, "Oh, yeah, no matter what you do, I still don't accept you. I still don't see you." And that is not my problem. But in other words, I can fully be myself in a loving environment where I have people around me who pick me up when I am down. We are in battle. This is always a battlefield. Love is a battlefield. I think that's it. So then we stop doing what other people want and do what we want. Yeah, no more people pleasing in 25. Exactly. Exactly. Recently I've felt myself knowing what I don't want. I felt myself knowing where I don't need to be, and I trusted myself that I knew that I wasn't going to put myself there if I didn't want to be there. I know that I do that now for myself. Now there's still constitutions where, like, public schools and our work, where some people may not fully comprehend who we are, but just let them stare, okay? You will talk to the right people. You get through to the right people. You do. I love you too. I have a major test coming up because not only is my sister also on my father's side, she stopped communication with me because I was standing up for myself, because I wasn't letting her construe my mind. I wasn't letting her blame me and then having her have me blame myself. Like, so many times, these people will say, well, maybe you're the problem. Actually, no. That's exactly where you need to look at yourself. Oh, I am. I have a pot. When I get my new room set up in my own apartment, I'm going to have my own space for a podcast. I'm going to have a big microphone and I'm just going to tell my story that it felt very close to me, but I think it's time for everyone to, whoever wants to listen, to be inspired. But I just know that we have our own weapons. We're always loaded, okay? And I know for me, sometimes I feel like in the moment, I don't know how to argue back. I don't know how to stand up for myself because when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to. I was told not to talk back. How do you defend yourself when you're not allowed to talk back? You're supposed to respect your parents. When they don't respect you as a person, it doesn't make sense. So now my sister, who loves to conform, she's always changing based on the idea of how most people around her is going to accept her. So she changes up. And I get that. I used to be a chameleon, but not anymore. I stay the same in every room. I will always be a weird, out of the box thinker who brings fresh new ideas because my truth is truth. And I know that I personally am not here to hurt people. I have no malintentions. But unfortunately, people who are weak, and which I said, when they're in fear, they will attack you. We've all done it. I've done it. I did it the past few days. And once I come out of that fear, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I never said those things. So in the moment, this is kind of why I'm not so mean to people, because I know that they don't mean what they say. Um, so honestly, I still have a gift for my sister from Christmas. So I'm going to see how that plays into effect because like I said, I'm not giving myself where I know I won't be received. You know, I used to say, well, I'll still give a little bit of me, so maybe it'll spark a change in them. But that was still taking from me, and I don't want to overgive. Okay. So if I don't feel comfortable enough, even if I have this gift to give someone, if I don't feel like they are deserving, I don't give it to them. And that's why I'll delete comments and block comments because what you're giving me is not a gift and I do not accept it. So maybe what they want from me is not a gift. Maybe they want me to tell them that they're right, but they're not right. So I have nothing to offer them. They don't want anything from me. And they need to realize that I do not want their gifts. They're small-minded thoughts. I don't want it. Why would someone who thinks outside the box and constantly transform their life, why would I hop inside that box with you? Why would I put myself in that box so I can be touching you? Ew. I'm about to come up to a battle 2 against 1. Actually, probably 3 against 1. But you know where I win? Is that this person has lies. And I know them. I know all of her secrets. And the truth comes to light. So if she really wants to push that button, well, I got a bigger button. And it's called the truth. So unless she wants to be exposed, I mean, I don't think she should come 10 feet near me. Because I know she holds those lies and she doesn't plan on telling them, but the truth always comes to light. The truth always comes to light. The light is so much brighter than the dark. The light is always going to come around at some point and it'll be flashing right on you. What are you going to do in this moment? You better hope you have an option. You better hope that someone else doesn't know your lies so that they can point them out for you. You better hope. Like you people would tell me, you better pray for Jesus. You better find the walk of life. You better find it. I take that back actually because the path of light, the path of Christ can be confusing. It could leave you in a circle. It could leave you confused because it led me confused for years. So that's why I don't recommend it to people, but I will recommend the path of light. I will recommend you listening to yourself. I will recommend you listening to yourself. Will I recommend you to listen to somebody else how to tell you live your life? No, I will never recommend that. I recommend you do what's best for you. It's your path and your steps. You could see your steps. You can't read a book you never read before and know what's going to be on the next page. But you have intuition. You can see what you want. And therefore you can take those steps. This is why those comments about walk the life of Nazareth. What the fuck are you fucking talking about? When people ask you questions that they know is not right and they still do it, people do this very often. They're so indiscreet. It's honestly embarrassing. Yeah. It's embarrassing. When you know you shouldn't do something, that's your intuition. Don't do it. When you know you should speak up, but other told you not to, that's when you know you need to do it. All that low self-worth, all that the low energy dense shit is cut out. It does not reside here in 2025. You either like what I'm spitting or you don't. And it's clear to see who does and who don't. It's clear to see. See, God already placed me an angel right now in this room. And her name is Chakra Bunny. Okay? It's 12 o'clock and I got 12 people in here. But no. That's how I know I was meant to be here. Right now. Because I have an angel protecting me right now. Only for the quickness of it, okay? She quick with it. Okay? But nothing you ever do is not seen. Everything we're doing is seen. We're being watched always. Always. So when you tell me to do things that I've already known or something that doesn't sit right with me, I know I can cancel it out because I know we're always being watched. You think I would say something that would hurt me? Maybe if I was in a fear state. But anyway, I digress and I move on. I feel kind of better about coming up to this battle, like I said, but we still have a whole month till we get there. And I'm worried about focusing on what I need to focus on right now. But I give myself time and I give myself grace and I do not rush it. I give myself time and I give myself grace. I don't know why we would. I mean, I understand it all. That's why it makes it so hard for me to speak now and say, yeah, why don't we all just love each other? It makes sense to me now. Before I didn't get it why people, maybe it didn't matter to me then because I was such in a high vibe where it didn't even matter if there was enemies or people in lower energy because the way I transmuted it so quickly in that higher energetic field was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. A bright, shining light that nothing could even come towards me. It was diminished by the light. So that's why I'm giving myself space and love and time. Space and love. I'm giving myself love, love, and love. Because that is what's needed. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be myself. I'm slowly opening up. And I'll have a podcast soon. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Peace.